Good morning. I'm Mark Allen with Gaper.io, and I'm here today with Nova Lorraine, the founder and editor-in-chief of Raine Magazine. Good morning, Nova. How you doing?
Morning. I'm great. It's a sunny day, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, if I wake up and the sun's shining, I'm like, yes, it's gonna be a
Yes.
good day.
As you can see, it's very sunny where I am. So although actually where I am, it actually is sunny today. I'm in San Francisco, so it's usually sunny here. So to start with, can you share a brief background of yourself and your work experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually started off in academia. I
Hmm.
was pursuing my PhD in clinical psychology. And before I had a vision, actually an annoying voice saying you have to go to fashion and study fashion. This was going to be your way of helping people. And so ignoring that for a while, I just continued on my pursuit of my PhD. And then one day I just knew that I had to make that leap of faith. And so I finished up early with my master's, moved to New York, went to FIT, and the rest has been history. But I finished there with my design degree and spending about 3 years in corporate studying entrepreneurship and marketing, decided to take another leap of faith and launch my own fashion company. And about 5 years into that journey, I was inspired to launch Raine Magazine. And Raine is a platform for creative entrepreneurs. We're here to inspire through storytelling, through amazing stories of individuals that are killing the game in entrepreneurship from around the globe. And we are looking at the future of innovation, sustainability, and fashion.
Hmm.
The three categories that we look for rising talents are fashion, culture, and tech. So, from the very beginning, I wanted to create something that addressed individuals like myself that was doing what they loved and was in the creative industries or tech industries and wanted to turn it into a livelihood
Wow, that's
and be happy along the way.
yeah, that's a fascinating background. And do you still have the fashion company, or did you sell that?
Yeah, no, so with fashion now I do on demand. I
Mhm.
was asked to do a fashion show for the Prince Albert Foundation
Mhm.
in Monaco a few years ago, and I
Mhm.
dressed some contestants in the Miss Jamaica World Pageant. That's where I'm from. I was born in Jamaica.
Mhm.
And so that was amazing. And I'm working on some fashion projects now. One is an art exhibit that brings together mental health and sustainability around couture. And
Mhm.
then in the very near future, yes, there will be a new fashion brand. But Raine took over my life. I was very into, you know, launching this platform and creating a community around it and helping others and inspiring others, through my journey, through the pain points I found in creating a publication and a fashion company. And that inspired me to then write a book. And so Unleash Your Supernova comes out in March, but
Mhm.
it's that go-to guide on increasing your creativity, beating burnout, and surviving creative entrepreneurship.
Wow, that's a lot. So
It's a lot.
yeah. So what has been your experience with remote employment, both as an employee and mainly as an employer, I would assume?
Yeah, well, as I said, Rain is for creative entrepreneurs. And when I launched Rain, I just had my fourth child. I had opened up a store, expanded my showroom from New York into Westchester, New York, where we were living at the time. And I said, okay, I don't want any other physical things or entities to be responsible for.
Hmm.
And I had read about this cool concept of a virtual company a few years prior and decided that I wanted to launch Rain as a virtual company from day one. And at the time, this was 13 years ago,
Hmm.
we didn't have all these amazing technologies and software systems that are with us today. So I really had to be creative in how I assembled the team and communicated with the team, especially since we were working with a lot of visual images.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, so from day one, this has been my world, remote working.
For 13 years?
Yes, my
Wow.
original team was my marketer was in Houston, Texas. I was in New York. My lead photographer was in New York. My art director was in Boston, and my senior editor was in Canada.
Wow. And do you have anybody in other parts of the world now, or is it
Oh
all?
yeah, oh yeah, still. So we have a team in the UK. We have individuals in trying to remember all the
Hmm.
countries. So we see Scotland, London, the Ukraine, and in India, and then we have let's see, and then the rest are here in the US. Am I forgetting anyone? We do have a digital marketer out of Ghana as well.
Wow, all that's quite diverse. So,
Yeah.
what do you think is going to be the future of remote employment? And since you've been doing it for 13 years, what do you think can be done to make it more effective?
Well, I feel it's not going anywhere,
Mhm.
obviously. I mean, I've always enjoyed it. There's absolute challenges. And as you know, communication at the time was very much of a challenge without video calls and all these other things. So, we learned how to be very efficient in our communication, but I feel that it's going to continue to expand. I think more and more people want the flexibility of being where they want to be when they're working, as long as they're working efficiently. And as a mother of four, I appreciated having the opportunity to be around my children as I
Mhm.
built my businesses. And not that that was easy, but I had
Right.
the option. I had when I first launched Raine, I had a newborn
Mhm.
and my oldest was 8, and they've been on this journey with me, since. And so I'm excited about all the different tools that are available to us now. I'm excited that the environment is very conducive, just the
Mhm.
culture and the mindset is very conducive to remote working. So I think it's going to continue to expand. There's a lot of opportunities still in real estate. I think had just touched on what can
Mhm.
be done there. More live and work spaces, more, if as we know, commercial has been hit hard, but I believe commercial spaces will rebound, but in a way that's built around individuals that want to have that flexibility of coming
Yeah.
in and out of the home and into the workspace. And they're coming in more for the social collaboration
Yeah.
and hands-on project working. I feel there's going to be more streaming,
Mhm.
that's going to be developing capabilities beyond Zoom. I feel that the experience is going to be enhanced,
Mhm.
as we continue to explore this new era in more detail. I think there's been what was called Zoom burnout about a month or
Mhm.
two ago. And now everyone's sort of adjusting, like, okay, this is the way it is. Let's figure this out. And as you have this beautiful background behind you, I feel there's going to be more interesting things that are going to be done to enhance, our experiences as we work remotely.
Yeah, I would agree. And just out of curiosity, how old's your youngest now?
He's 14.
14. Wow. So he was your fourth.
He was my fourth. And you know what? I'm thinking about it because I had to have my doing a video podcast interview, do not disturb
Mm.
sign put outside the door so he doesn't barge in. Um, and I think, again, there's going to be systems that are created to help parents,
Yes.
be able to, find ways to create that division within the home that,
Mhm.
again, is flexible and fluid. Workspaces in the home, I think, are going to be reinvented.
Yes.
I created a really comfortable space for myself that also inspires me. In the
Mhm.
book I talk about make sure that your environment is going to encourage productivity, encourage creativity. And there's
Mhm.
many ways to do that. So I think you're going to have more experts and resources that can teach people how to be more or happier working from home, not just because you don't have to commute, but
Mhm.
because the environment is going to provide you what you need to be effective at creating your projects or working with your teams.
Yes. So let's talk about rain now. And it's rain with an E at the end, I know. So is there a reason why it's not, is there a reason for the spelling, and who's your target audience and what's it all about?
Yeah, well, you know what? Rain, there's a double meaning. Rain,
Mm.
it means to grow. And,
Mm.
when you think of the literal sense of what rain does to the earth and our planet
Mhm.
and trees and everything else, to grow. And I wanted a platform that inspired our readers to grow and continue to grow and go after their dreams. And then it's also part of my name, Nova
Mm.
Lorraine. So there's the E at
Ah,
the end for
oh
you.
yeah. Interesting. And so the magazine, I mean, who do you really target? Is it
Yeah.
more the people in the industry, or is it the people that are interested in fashion, or both?
I target entrepreneurs that are in the
Okay.
creative space.
Hmm.
And so decision makers, leaders, individuals that are aspiring to be entrepreneurial.
Hmm.
And so creators and founders is who I target. And then within fashion, within lifestyle, within technology.
Ah, very good. And you have both a print and an online version, I presume?
Yeah. So you know what? Back in the day, before digital was a thing, we launched the first online glossy digital flip book in the
Wow.
fashion space. And then again, as I mentioned, targeting creative entrepreneurs. but it looked like a traditional print magazine. So we put it out there. I had an amazing graphic designer. We put it out there, and people kept asking for the print edition. And so from the
Hmm.
beginning, I was like, no, we're doing this eco-friendly
Mhm.
thing, and we're doing a digital magazine. But they said, can we have the print? So then we tested a print edition, sent it to Barnes and Nobles. They loved it. We went to bookstores and on newsstands. And then as the industry evolved, we decided to focus back on print. I mean, excuse me, back on digital, and offer our print as on demand. So that's
Hmm.
what we're doing.
Interesting. And did your team build the software for the, pageable magazine online?
What we did is we took a software that we found. There was a small company out of Eastern Europe
Hmm.
that was servicing catalogs
Hmm.
and allowing companies that were doing catalogs to offer a flip book to their customers. So
Hmm.
we approached them and said, "Hey, it's a flip book. It's similar to a magazine in terms of the form, the formatting, and can we translate that into a magazine?" And they said, "Sure." And it had sound effects, it had shadowing, the pages rolled. It was beautiful.
Hmm. Wow, I'll have to check it out. So,
Yeah.
so the current situation, we've all been in basically lockdown since mid-March. You already were 100% remote, but did that cause any challenges that you didn't quite expect?
Well, yeah, because I was remote and my team was remote, but everyone else was still, working traditionally. And
Ah.
so there was definitely a disconnect, communicating with individuals that were forced to work remotely and still be effective. Children are running around the background, you're dealing with the pandemic, and then
Mhm.
you have to show up at work. And then, oh, by the way, you're going to be on video.
Mhm.
So now we're all on television, right?
Mhm.
And weren't trained for quote unquote television. And so it was a challenge initially. I felt that people were a little uneasy, uncomfortable, almost apologetic. And where I'm like, this is my world. Let's go. Let's do this.
Hmm.
And really trying to find the appropriate rules, I guess, that uh, worked with taking a very traditional system and making it untraditional overnight
Yeah.
and informal
Mhm.
overnight. And what's the etiquette? What do you wear? Does the video, or should you turn your video on? Does it even have to be video for
Mm.
calls and communication?
Right.
So there was definitely still a challenge. And now that we're a few months into the game, I feel that people are on a roll and developing their own systems on how to work remotely and still be effective and manage their teams
Yeah. And just out of curiosity, how frequently do you publish?
quarterly.
Quarterly. So,
And then
and
we do daily posts as well
oh, okay. And then
on our
like
on our
where did
site.
where did no where did March fall into the quarterly cycle?
Oh my gosh, we had an issue we were supposed to release in April, and we said,
Mhm.
okay, won't be doing that. And then we just decided to wait. And even on my podcast, Unleash Your Supernova, same as the book, I switched gears from the content that I was doing to focus more on mindset and wellness. And because, as founders, as creatives, as decision makers, we need to be creative, right?
Mhm.
And if we're distracted or stressed, and anyone that's distracted or stressed is not going to put out their best work, but it especially affects individuals that are in the creative industries. Like your product is based on your creativity.
Mhm.
And so for me it was okay, let's put this on hold and let's focus on helping our community you know be less distracted, find balance, find ways and hacks of being mindful, staying healthy, so they could do what is their livelihood.
Mhm.
And so that's what I focus the content around in terms of the magazine, the podcast interviews I was doing, and the experts I was reaching out to. And then 2021, we're looking forward to another fabulous book.
Well, good. Good. So to finish, there's companies like Gaper that help develop, build, and scale products. How important do you think these types of services? You probably do have some software development, and you also have creatives. How important do you think those types of services will be going forward for companies that want to grow quickly?
Oh, extremely important. When I started, I was using software like freelance, elance.com, not software, web web
Yeah.
platforms, elance.com, Upwork,
Mm.
and that's how I found talent.
Mm.
And one of the individuals, I remember this very clearly. She started off as a freelance editor, and she became a senior editor of Raine, and now has gone off to launch her own magazine.
Oh,
And
cool.
so, yeah, I think being able to find great talent very quickly is important. And any technology that can help save time in terms of bringing together the right people for the right projects is amazing. And so it's going to be extremely important, I feel, as
Yeah.
we move forward.
Well, Nova, I want to thank you for your time this morning. Good luck on your book. When does it come out again?
March, yes,
Right.
March 16th, I believe, and distributed through Simon and Schuster. It's already pre-order available online. Unleash your supernova.
All right. And well, thank you again and have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. It was my pleasure.